governments have made it increasingly more difficult for people to change things because they are taking advantage of abstract threats which don't really exist to bring up laws which are suppressing everybody. Now all you have to do is hold up a protest sign to be called a terrorist. And that's, we're living in a much less free world than I lived in the 50s and 60s and 70s. We had much more freedom back then. I mean, I think back to some of the things that we did in protests and campaigns. We would be killed if we did it today. What comes to mind first is uncertainty, that we really don't know what the future is going to be. And the young generation today is probably the first generation in a long time that really has a very uncertain future, because the world's changing and changing very quickly, and especially in what's happening in our oceans. So there's a lot of challenges. Many, many years ago, back in 1975, I had an encounter in the North Pacific with a sperm whale. The whale could have taken my life, chose not to do so, and that made me think very deeply about what it was we're doing. It was a dying whale, and I saw him fall back and slide back into the sea rather than come forward and crush us. I said to myself, why are we killing these whales? And the Russians didn't eat whale meat. They kill whales for sperm and spermaceti oil, which is used as a high heat resistant lubricating oil for machinery. And one of the things it was most valuable for was the construction of intercontinental ballistic missiles. I said, here we are destroying this incredibly intelligent, socially complex, self-aware, sentient being for the purpose of making a weapon meant for the mass extermination of human beings. And it just struck me, we're insane. Our whole damn species is insane. And from that moment on, I just said, I'm not here for us, I'm here for them. If human beings can learn to live in harmony with all other species and live in accordance with the basic laws of ecology, the law of diversity, the law of interdependence, the law of finite resources, no species has ever survived on the planet living outside of those three basic laws. So if we don't learn to live within the boundaries of those laws, we're not going to survive either. So will humanity be able to do that? I don't really know, At some point, maybe nature will force us into having to make that decision, but I don't see us making it willingly because there's too many temptations. Leonard Cohen, in one of his songs, has two lines that sum it up. He says, we're locked into our suffering and our pleasures are the seal. In other words, we're too busy feeling good and having a great time and entertaining ourselves to worry about the future. My contribution in my crew in that is to save lives and to buy time, to protect habitats, so we can measure our success in the number of lives saved, the number of illegal operations that we shut down, and so we've been pretty successful in doing that. So I think that's the best thing that we can do right now, but also to encourage people to understand that each and every one of us can make a difference, and we just have to use our individuals' talents and skills and harness that to passion, imagination, and courage, and we can make a difference. But I see more and more of that being done. You can't depend upon governments or big organizations to change things. They never have, they never will. They usually cause the problems. Almost all social revolutions throughout history have been championed by individuals or small groups of individuals. Slavery wasn't ended by governments, it was ended by people like Wilberforce and Douglass. The women's rights movement, the suffragette movement, that was led by women who are virtually unknown today, who were beaten and jailed and abused by the politicians who later took credit for what they did. So you need that kind of passion if you're going to make a difference. Everything's going to be okay for the planet eventually. Will it be okay for humanity? Well, that's up to us, whether collectively we're going to make those significant changes. But before we can do that, we have to cure ourselves of this collective insanity that is infecting us. And you can see that insanity in many ways. What we're doing to the planet, the wars that we have amongst ourselves, the abuses of animals, the abuses of other people. This to me is psychopathic. It's something that affects us all. We're all involved in it. So can we cure ourselves of that? I don't know. I can only hope that we can.